Want to go for a dip?
My cousin's got a great bar just around the corner, cocktails and everything. And I think it's about to be happy hour.
This is what he does, okay? He finds missing people.
We believe both of the children were found alive.
Let's play our historic first ever game.
Who's this joker?
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
So how have you been?
Yeah, really good. Thank you so much. Super busy, but there's been so much going on, so I'm just finding everything very exciting at the moment.
Oh, good. Excellent. It is an absolute pleasure to speak to you. Your journey from gymnastics to modelling to acting and pageantry is truly remarkable. How has your diverse background influenced your approach to your craft as an actress?
Thank you so much. Well, I think definitely having grown up doing gymnastics, that always made me very used to performing on stage. And I think as a gymnast, you're usually very kind of physically confident. So I think that helped me immensely with all of my acting work. I also started doing martial arts as well in my teens. So that also that's helped me so much for acting and also for modeling. Just the fact that sort of having a performance background made me more confident in front of the camera. I was always sort of used to training as well, so that probably made me very disciplined and probably more hardworking than maybe I would have been without having a sports kind of background. So yeah, I think that has helped me immensely for sure for my career.
Awesome. Which martial art?
I did a bit of taekwondo, but mainly stage combat, because I specifically went into that knowing it would obviously help me with my film work.
Yeah, awesome. I've got a background in karate myself.
That is amazing. I remember you telling me a while ago actually, and I thought that was epic because karate, that's a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Cool.
So from what age did you decide to be an actress, and how did you know you had the skills to go into TV and eventually film?
So I would say I probably knew I wanted to get into film and TV acting when I was maybe about probably like 16 at college. I was always very academic, but other subjects other than like psychology and acting didn't really hold my attention as much as acting did. So I just always knew that would kind of be my schooling in life per se. And I always just really, really enjoyed it. I loved being able to get into the mindset of another character. I loved kind of the psychology of that as well, and sort of getting to know the mind of someone else. And I just found it so much fun. And I decided life is for living and we should do things that we find fun. So I knew I wanted to find a job that I really, really enjoyed. So I had no idea back then how I was really going to get into acting, but I knew I wasn't going to stop trying. I knew I was just going to go for it, and everything I've kind of done has led on to the next thing, and various paths I've taken in life have kind of brought me to where I am now, and have sort of will help to kind of build a career for myself.
Awesome. And did your parents support your career aspirations?
Yes, thankfully they have always both been very, very supportive. Yeah, I have really good relationships with both my mum and my dad, and my mum is literally my best friend. We're so, so close, and she's really amazing, and she's frequently helped with my casting tapes, so maybe casting directors might know her voice by now. And she's a really amazing woman. She's always been my inspiration within absolutely everything I've done in life, and she's always had my back. So I'm very, very grateful to both my parents. And I also have a brother who's really supportive of my acting career as well. He's super, super supportive and a really amazing brother. So I'm very lucky to have had a good family foundation to kind of support me within all my mad endeavors.
Awesome. Are they not in the industry?
No, they're not. No, actually none of my family are. So it's just me.
Okay.
So it's, I don't really know where I get my acting from, to be honest with you. They're really bizarre.
Okay. So what is your earliest memory on screen?
Probably I'd say the first and biggest the first big role that I did was probably when I was playing Erica in Emmerdale. Okay. So that was a long time ago now, but that has always been an amazing memory that I've always really cherished, because it was so incredible to get to be on set with actors that I'd always watched growing up on television, and suddenly they're next to me and we're doing the same scenes, and that felt really, really incredible at the time. And just also being able to work on such a massive, famous film set, TV set rather, was really incredible. So I absolutely loved my time on that set.
Awesome. Was that your first role?
It wasn't my first role, but I would say it was my first really, really big role. So I feel like it was sort of a little bit of a turning point for me within my acting career. And it was kind of a role that I was so grateful to get, and made me feel like, wow, yes, I can really do this.
Awesome. Now, moving to your film career, Escape is out now, and DarkGame is out this month, both
Yes.
showcasing your versatility as an actress. With each role presenting unique challenges, can you share with us your approach to portraying characters like Lucy and Faye, and what insights you gain from these experiences?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, both Escape and DarkGame are absolutely incredible movies. So I hope everyone can check them out. And I absolutely love my character in both. In Escape, I play obviously the lead role alongside Sarah Alexandra Marks. I play Lucy, and she's awesome. She's very kick-ass, feisty, determined, doesn't take any crap. And I would say I got into the mind of her by very much just imagining that all these awful things were happening to me in real life. I really thought what I would actually do to survive against all odds, how my character would feel if these things were happening, how I would react if these things were really going on around me. And I tried to really just imagine that they were all happening in order to be able to convey the kind of a level of emotion that I did for Escape, and very much the same as DarkGame. I think playing Faye in DarkGame, that was probably the emotion I needed for that was even more intense, because my role in that is really not an easy one to play. Like, it's very, very, very dark, and it was the kind of things that you see on the screen when you watch that. Some people forget that those things are actually happening in real life. Not you're not at risk in real life, but you're still in that kind of environment in real life. So I really was tied to a chair and it really was in an extremely dark warehouse, and I was really cold, and so the type of situations that sometimes you're put in as an actor isn't always easy, but with DarkGame, I very much again just imagine those things that were really, really happening to me in real life, and how absolutely immensely terrified I would be in. It also helps, I find, to tap into things that maybe you've been through in real life, and that usually helps you to get into that kind of highly emotional state, I would say.
Absolutely, and you've got to have immense trust in your director, because he's essentially because he's the one who's asking you to do these things.
Absolutely, yeah. And luckily, obviously, we filmed a bit of Escape before DarkGame, so I'd been friends with Howard for many, many years. So I always immensely trust him. When it came to making a movie, I trusted him immensely with my safety. So I knew I had absolutely nothing at all to worry about with him. And he was very sweet when we were filming DarkGame, because let's just say there was a weapon involved, which I wanted to make absolutely sure it couldn't hurt me in real life. So he literally put it across his own neck before it came anywhere near me. And I won't tell you what the weapon was or what happens with the weapon, but yeah, he was very sweet, and he's very, very thorough.
Awesome. So as someone that's worked extensively in both film and TV, what differences do you find between the two mediums, and how have you adapted your approach? And would you ever consider going onto the stage?
So I think the biggest difference between film and TV is often faster paced. Generally, you're filming in a studio and you have a set amount of time to get all the scenes done. So it's a case of having to move through them like very, very quickly. and I did a lot of TV work in Asia for like some of the biggest networks there. So I frequently, we'd be filming, and then even if you made a mistake, frequently they would just keep rolling. And whereas with films, generally, obviously, if you make a mistake, they'll refilm everything, and they're refilming it generally from a million different takes. Whereas TV shots are usually not quite as in-depth as that, because they are working with more time constraints. And I think having done a lot of TV definitely helped me even more in film, because it made me sort of learn lines, really be able to learn lines very quickly and be able to work very quickly. And that's one of the things I love so much about working with Howard, because he works so quickly, which was like my dream, because I love working quickly. So that's one of the many awesome things that make him so incredible to work with as a director. And he mentioned stage. So I studied theatre studies. I've always personally preferred working in film and TV. I much prefer the style of sort of like natural kind of acting. Also, I did do a few plays after I finished studying drama and theatre studies, which I really enjoyed, but I used to get so nervous before going on stage. And I think maybe I'd be a bit better now, because now I'm more confident, but back then I would literally worry, I'd get nervous for like months before a production. And to me, like, that level of anxiety was just not worth the rewards. Whereas for some reason, if I'm filming a film or a TV show, I don't really get nervous. But with stage, I got very nervous. I mean, that's still the adrenaline rush you get when you finish a performance, and it's still amazing to perform to a live audience. So I do really enjoy it, but it's not something I've ever focused on. However, recently, funnily enough, I have been in talks with a really lovely producer here, who's a really good friend of mine, called Daniela Gonella. And I can't really say too much about it, but we are in talks at the moment about possibly doing a theatre show together. And the script she showed me is really amazing. So it's something that we might do together soon, because I always said I would do it if I was really kind of captivated by a script. And with her one, I really am. So that might be on the cards for soon.
Great. Well, you're I know you'll smash it. So you'll do incredibly well with it. So so you've also ventured into producing and directing with projects like the fashion show fundraiser you did for the British Art Foundation. What inspired you to explore those roles behind the camera, and how do they complement your work as an actress?
So that fashion show I put on, that was for charity. So that was so my goal with that was very much to raise money for the British Heart Foundation. So I think back then I wasn't really thinking about sort of getting into producing or directing, even though I did obviously produce that show. It didn't really occur to me that that's something I produced type thing, if that makes sense. It was more like I was just merely doing it for the charity at the time. But definitely it did teach me a lot about how much organization actually goes into production, and how involved it actually is. And also dealing with the financial aspect of it was definitely an educational experience, for sure. And it was really good fun. I did enjoy it as well.
Awesome. So Anne, what do you feel has been your most impactful role in your film career so far?
I genuinely would have to say Escape. I love the movie so much. I really hope everyone watches it. It's just non-stop entertainment. It's so fast-paced. It's something happens like every 3 seconds. I'm not sure if it was Howard or Sarah, or one of them described it as like it was like a constant sort of surge of ADHD throughout the entire film. Because it's amazing. Like, something is happening the entire time. It's like there's never a boring moment. It's very entertaining. Even though the themes within the film, like obviously human trafficking, it's a very dark, very sad theme. But the positive spin on it is it's a revenge movie. So it's very much about the girls getting their own back on these horrible men, and these horrible men really getting their comeuppance, if that's pronounced probably wrong, but no,
you're right. Come on, Pooch, you're right. You're right.
It sound right, but
And
really
as
such an
Sarah,
amazing.
Sarah describes it as taken on steroids.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love Sarah. Yeah, that's a brilliant description. Taken on steroids. Excellent. Yeah, love that. It must have been Howard then that described it as the
Yeah.
constant surge of ADHD or something. That's so funny. Yes, they are
Awesome.
both very, very accurate with those descriptions. It's non-stop entertainment and it's very larger than life. You've got like, the bad guys, as like the most insane stereotypes with like one of the bad guy has like a patch over his eye, like he's walking around like some kind of demonic pirate. And then then you've got obviously Sean Cronin's character who plays the lead bad guy, the kind of head of the whole gangster gangster party, and he's absolutely hilarious in it. He's so funny and he's so watchable, and I love how he plays his role. He really puts such a comedic spin on his gangster his gangster baddie character. It's just so funny to watch. And yeah, I just absolutely love the movie. So I would say for me, I love the role I played, because I start off as very much the victim and then I turn things around, and I really love the action side of it. Getting to show off some fight skills is always a bonus, and all of the revenge scenes I just absolutely love. So I'd say that's definitely been my favorite role so far, and one I'm immensely proud of.
Awesome. So throughout your career, you've traveled extensively and immersed yourself in different cultures. How has your global perspective enriched your life and informed your approach to storytelling?
So I have been very, very lucky to have been able to travel all over the world, and I think having immersed myself into so many different cultures has helped me an awful lot within my storytelling, because I feel it's given me an insight into so many different people from all over the world, which I think can make you a lot more kind of worldly wise per se, and also kind of maybe more perceptive as well. So I feel like it's maybe given me a better ability to like read people, and I think having a lot of cultural awareness does help you to play characters who aren't from the same background as yourself more easily as well, because you have more of an insight into their lives. So I think it's helped me an awful lot, and it's also given me a huge amount of independence and confidence, which you also very much need for this job, I think, for sure.
Awesome. Now, charity work is also an integral part of your life, from climbing Kilimanjaro for No More Malaria UK to volunteering in orphanages. How do you balance your career with the philanthropic endeavors, and what motivates you to give back?
So I think having lived in the Philippines for 5 years, I was always kind of the country is very much divided between the very rich and the very poor. So I think having seen both sides of it, I think that naturally always makes you want to help people who maybe are less fortunate than you are. So I think that was always a big inspiration of mine to get involved with charity stuff. But to be honest with you, I haven't done a huge amount for charity in a while. I did used to do loads, which I'm so proud of, but I want to get back into doing more really worthwhile things at the moment. But yeah, my Kilimanjaro climb, that was to raise money for No More Malaria UK. And I was so proud of having done that, because I raised a pretty good amount for the charity, which basically helps to provide preventative measures for malaria, and also to provide malaria tablets in countries like Africa, where they don't have the resources or the finance to necessarily buy them. That was amazing. And I also worked in an orphanage in Africa for a while as well, and sent children to school out there, something I'm proud of having done. And yeah, I used to work in orphanages. I also worked in one in Thailand and Vietnam as well. They're all things I'm definitely very proud of having done. And for me, when I used to travel so much before traveling became more work related, I used to always think, if I'm going to go to a country that's less fortunate than we are in the UK, I want to do something useful and good for that country at the same time, rather than just going there to, be a tourist and go on holiday and have fun. So if I was traveling somewhere, which I was doing most of the time, I would always try to incorporate that with charity work at the same time. So I'd work in an orphanage for X amount of time, and then I'd also travel a little bit. Because for me, I couldn't really make my peace with going to certain countries like Africa unless I was also doing something really useful for the people there at the same time. So that was what, that was, I suppose, what got me into helping out with charities. It was my traveling.
Awesome. So as someone that's experienced success both locally and internationally, what do you hope to achieve next in your career, and what legacy do you hope to leave?
Oh, that's a great question. So next, I hope to just honestly just do more movies. I absolutely love doing films. I've also recently just got my O1 visa for America, which is really, really exciting. So I'm hoping to do some work out there soon as well. I have some really great film offers out there. So hopefully I'd like to do some work in the States and just continue doing movies in lots of different genres, and just seeing how much more I can achieve. Because I'm very grateful for the acting career that I've kind of managed to build, and I feel the last 3 years have kind of been a turning point for me career-wise. So I'm just hoping it continues at a good pace.
Awesome. What type of role, what type of characters would you like to interpret, and do you have a dream role?
A dream role? Do you know what? I've always wanted to be in a superhero movie. I've done a lot of superhero short films, but I've never done like a full-length superhero movie. So I really, that's on my bucket list. So
Okay.
yes, if you're watching this and you're a director, actually I do know a few who are currently trying to get one off the table. So I'm very much hoping to do a superhero movie at some point, and just more action films as well. Horrors are really fun as well, particularly ones that are sort of female driven, that kind of very much connote female empowerment. I love movies like that kind of turn genres in another direction. I find that very interesting to do.
Awesome. Okay, and what genre of art would you like to participate in? So is that work? Would you like to work in music or anything else?
So I think for me, predominantly just acting is something that I think will always be my focus. I have also always done a lot of modeling as well, but acting has definitely always been my my number one priority. So I think that's probably where I will keep my focus at.
Awesome. Do you have any anecdotes that have marked your life as a person?
Oh, good question. Well, let me think. Marked my life as a person. That is a really good question. I'm trying to think. I have so many stories. I'm just wondering which one to tell you. I kind of feel like I've had so many adventures, having always traveled, ones that I'm so grateful for. And I think everything that I've done has kind of probably marked me as a person for sure. Trying to think of one to share with you. Maybe when I climbed Kilimanjaro, going back to that climb, because I actually got really bad altitude sickness just before I reached the top. So that was a really insane experience. And I remember the guide sort of seeing me as I reached the top and like shouting at my other guide to say, like, why have you let her get to the top in this state? Because I was basically like, I was so dizzy I could hardly see straight, and I was basically wobbling off the cliff, and I had to have people like hold on to me for dear life. And I was in a good state. And I just remember saying to the guide, like, quick, take my picture. And then he just grabbed my hand, and I had to just run down the mountain, because the only way to kind of get rid of altitude sickness is to get to a lower kind of altitude. So I just just remember running down this mountain. So I think that had a bit of an impact on me. I guess it made me, I don't know, I think things like that, when, it makes you like very determined. It's always made me very determined to like see things through. Like I don't like to do things half-heartedly. I'm kind of very much like an all or nothing person. So I think a lot of the adventures I've had have definitely sort of in a way marked the person I am today. But I'd say just everything really, from my family to my friends to my career, to everything has helped with that.
Awesome. And what advice would you give to aspiring actors and actresses who are embarking on their own path in the industry?
So honestly, the best advice I could give is to build a life for yourself where you can be free to pursue acting, because it's not an easy career. It's not one that I think people should go into lightly, and it's also not one you should rely on, especially not financially to start with. You always need to have a side hustle. So I think you have to have a good business brain at the same time, and think about work you can also do on the side that will allow you to be financially free to make films and to always be available for auditions, and maybe have like an online hustle, an online job that you can do from wherever you are in the world, for example, like something that you can basically implement into your life to make you available for castings, or to do a self-tape with like no warning, and to never think like, oh my God, like when is my next acting job? How am I going to pay my mortgage? Like that's not a good situation to be in. So to not be reliant on it is the best advice I can give. And also to make sure it's something you really want, because I think some people have a very glamorized idea of it. And yes, I absolutely love it. But is it an easy ride? No, not really. I mean, it's definitely a lot easier for me now, because now I'm very blessed to be in an opportunity where people do contact me directly and offer me roles. But this is something I've been doing for a really, really long time. And it's something that many people may have given up on years and years ago. Because at the very beginning, when I started acting, maybe 12 years ago now, I met a bunch of idiots who would they waste your time. They're full of crap. They give you the worst scripts you've ever read. And you're like, what the crap is this? So it's definitely no easy ride. You have to really make sure you love it, to really do it, and to really work. You have to really work. Keep your skills fresh. Keep going to workshops, get some training. I mean, I have people say to me like, I want to get into acting, but they've never had any training and stuff like that. So it's always good to get a little bit of training, and also, of course, you learn from experience. So learn as you go. But always, keep at it, and make sure you really love it enough to do it. Also, be really careful. Don't trust everyone or anyone to start with, at least until you've really built up a good circle around you where you know the people, because there aren't always the best of people in this industry. So it's definitely one that you can't tread lightly into, when you should be careful in to keep yourself safe, I would say.
Absolutely. And what has been your greatest achievement?
Oh, my greatest achievement in life, or in acting in general?
In both, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, good question. I would say the things I'm generally the most proud of are probably having traveled all over the world, because I set myself a weird goal like many years ago to literally travel all over the world. And then I went crazy, and literally every single year I would try to travel to as many countries as is humanly possible. So now I guess, one of my greatest achievements is having pretty much traveled all over the world. I'm insanely grateful for having done that, and also for the sort of acting career I've been able to build for myself. Now I'm really proud of having never given up on it. And now I'm so proud to say I've done about 26 feature films, and I've worked all over the world. So I genuinely am really proud of the career I have now, because as I mentioned, it hasn't always been an easy ride, and it's something I've had to be very determined to keep at and keep doing. And I have built a life for myself where I am able to, thankfully. So quite proud of those achievements, I must say.
Awesome. Awesome, and we're proud of you too. So with the popularity of streaming services like Netflix and Apple TV, what do you think the future of cinema is?
I think, even though, of course, it is more accessible now to watch a movie online or on your TV, I think cinema will never die. I think there's nothing like watching a film on the big screen, and the impact you get from that, and the sound and everything. I think cinema will always stay the same. I mean, possibly maybe fractionally less people will go, but I don't think it will make a huge difference. I think people will always want to go to the cinema. I think there's just nothing like watching a movie at the cinema. I don't think it compares with TV, for sure.
Absolutely. So what are you working on at the moment that you can talk about?
So currently, I have actually just wrapped a really exciting movie called Mermaid's Curse 2, and that's for ITN, and that's directed by Pilar Mallow, and she's a really, really lovely, amazing director. She's a really, really lovely person as well. And we had so much fun on set, and that's been produced by Champ Dog Films, and it's for ITN, and that was just so much fun. I was playing the lead character in it, which is a girl called Serena, and the movie's a mermaid horror fantasy film. So it was really amazing for me getting to play a mermaid in a film, because I hadn't been given that type of role before. So I really, really loved that, and it was such a great filming experience. So we've just finished that, and then there's also Meeting Across the River, which I've also just finished filming, and that's by Michael Hidd, who's lovely. I love working with him. I was also in his last movie, Bermondsey Tales, and this film is directed by Frank Harper, and Frank is obviously very, very talented, and he's done so much. And my scenes are with both Michael and Frank, as they play the lead guys in the movie, and I play a character called Stevie, and it's a gangster film with a strong hint of comedy, and that's a very epic film as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to that coming out, and the mermaid movie should be out soon, because ITN turned things around super quickly. And yeah, definitely stay tuned for Meeting Across the River as well. We don't have a release date for that yet, but I'm sure that will also be soon.
Awesome. And just finally, where can we find you online to keep up with everything you're doing?
Please kindly follow me on Instagram, Sophie Louise Rankin, and also you can check out my IMDb, Sophie Rankin, where obviously all my newest credits are generally posted on. So yeah, I hope you follow me and keep an eye on my acting career.
Awesome. All right, well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. I know the weather's being a bit grumbly at the moment in the UK, but
not
enjoy the day. Okay. All right, will you look after yourself, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much, Marc. See you soon. Thank you for everything.
No worries. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
I always fight back.
They'll hunt you down like a pack of wolves. We have a location. 2 strike teams are prepping to go. Come on!
2 minutes out.
You don't have 2 minutes.
Twist.
Drop the weapon! I mean, what else is there to watch?
you show what you can do. I hear a siren. Maybe you were wrong about me. I'm dangerous and still. Why don't you give me a sign, like the sea that leads a trail along that shore? It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in, I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.